Hey everybody, and welcome to another episode here at Tribal Trades, the daily show coming at you from the great state of Florida. One hell of a drug. And I do want to welcome you to the channel wherever you are tuning in from around the world. Thanks for watching today. We're going to ask the question, is the Bitcoin selling over? Or is there more to come? Is this just a fake out before it breaks down, or are we beginning to break out for real? We're going to discuss that and a whole lot more in this channel today. But before we do that, smash the like button. This does help get this channel out to more people, and of course does help support the channel as does all your wonderful comments. Thank you so much. So let's jump into the news, and of course straight away, Bitcoin seller pressure is decreasing. So we can see here the cumulative net taker volume. We are seeing it decrease. We can see from February 28th, it was pretty strong. March the 4th, it was getting less and less as we go. And so we can look at that and say, okay, we are seeing the sellers getting a little bit exhausted there. Rect Capital also with some great analysis there that we have broken out on the RSI there. I believe this is on the daily time frame there. Again, quite bullish for Bitcoin there. And then, of course, we've got some hidden bullish divergence there on the weekly time frame on the Bitcoin chart. Again, bullish. I had pointed out the other week that we had some daily bullish divergence, and that was a very, very positive for Bitcoin. Let's jump over to the Bitcoin price there. And as we can see here, we have a breakout. We did a live trading session just before the close yesterday, and we caught some of this in the Tribal Trades Discord, of course. And the 200-day moving average sitting at about 85,000, and the 200 EMA on the daily 85,456. We talked a little bit about on that session how the 200 EMA on the daily, and I've shared this before on my shows numerous times, has been a great time to buy Bitcoin in a bull market if you still believe that we're in a bull market. Now, the 50-week moving average, of course, was our line in the sand, and it still is our line in the sand. It's sitting at 75,800. Remember, the bear market is confirmed with a full weekly candle that opens and closes below this level. That has not happened at this point, okay? So if we flick to the weekly time frame, the 50 EMA on the weekly was the one that got tagged. And of course, in the April to May 2021 drop, which I've been saying almost every day now for months, this is what this drop feels like. It doesn't feel like we're going into a bear market. It feels just like 2021, where in April and May, Bitcoin dropped from 65,000 all the way down to 28,000, then only to recover to 69,000. Now remember, many altcoins, including Dogecoin, set their all-time highs in that April and May 2021 time and didn't continue on and pump with Bitcoin and many of the other alts that did also go on to make new all-time highs. So as we see, even at Bitcoin now, what am I looking at for Bitcoin? I'm looking for Bitcoin. It's the 50-day moving average. That's currently sitting at 90,000. That would put us back in that 90 to 100,000 range. That is where I will put on a full bull hat and say, yes, the bull market has resumed. This dump is over, and now we should head up to retest 100,000. Now, we do need to not just get above there and get a fake out, but we need a proper close below that. Of course, the 100-day moving average is sitting at 94,700 there, and that would be our last moving average, major moving average that we have to get across. Now, keep in mind, as we are above the 200-day is going up and the 50-day is coming down. And so we want to avoid a death cross scenario, because this would then, my fear here is we come up and test the 50-day moving average and possibly at the first go, we actually reject it down. So I'm actually surprised we broke through this so quickly. I thought there would be more of rejection here. Maybe this is a little bit of a fake out and we'll come back below. But generally speaking, in a historical perspective, if we are in still a bull run, which I believe we are, in and around the 200 EMA on the daily has always been a great time to buy Bitcoin, okay? The last time the 200 EMA on the daily was getting tagged like this, like we did hit it in February 26th, we finally came back and tagged it, was way back in October, and Bitcoin, October, November, and Bitcoin was around 60K, and it shot up by around $40,000 to $50,000, okay? And then the time before that, we were back at around the 40s, high 40s, and then 20s. And so it has historically been a good time to accumulate and put Bitcoin in your portfolio at that time. Now, of course, there is still a danger that we come down and we tag this 50-week moving average, that this is just all a fake out there. Of course, one of the things that I've said on this channel is my concern that so many people were talking about Bitcoin coming down to 76 and 73 and 69 and 66. And of course, I've shared that if we were to come down below 66,000, and some people are even talking lower than that, then Bitcoin will have done something it's never done before, because Bitcoin has never gone below the low of an election week. Okay, and the low of the election week is about 66,800. So if we were to go to below that, then we'd be doing something Bitcoin's actually never done before in history. You can go back and look at what the low of the election week was each election year and see that Bitcoin's never gone below that. And so my concern was that too many people were talking about Bitcoin coming down here, and that quite often when everybody's saying it, generally that's not what ends up happening. The opposite ends up happening. So it's quite possible the bottom is in. Is the bottom in? It's quite possible that it isn't. It's quite possible that it's not. At the moment, until we break above this 50-day moving average, that's, and of course, when you look at the weekly time frame, the two areas here, it's also the 20 EMA on the daily time, the weekly time frame as well. Because look at what we've done here. Since we've broken down, where have we been consolidating? We've been consolidating not between the 200 and the 50 simple moving average, but the 20 EMA, which is sitting at 88,700, and the 50-week moving average, 77,500, which is just above the 50-week. So in my mind, a break below that 50 EMA on the weekly, which would basically the 50-week moving average is pretty much right next to it, would be a break below that. That's our bear market, and our bull market is here at the 20 EMA on the weekly time frame, which is pretty much close to the 50-day moving average, which is going to continue to come down. While the price of Bitcoin is coming down, these EMAs and moving averages are going to come down, and while it's above, these are going to come up. And so we don't want to see the 20 EMA cross below the 50 EMA. That would be extremely bearish, more bearish, in my opinion, than the 50-day moving average crossing below the 200-day moving average there. So that's what we're looking for. And as I've said, on the many times, a good place to have shorted the market would have been on a rejection of either the 200 EMA and the 200-day moving average. But the flip is true, that a good place to long Bitcoin or go long on Bitcoin is a break of either of these two moving averages. And that's what we've seen exactly. Now, of course, if there is any retest of that, so we come back and retest, and we broke through, and here you see the retest on the 4-hour. You'll see that we have also a bit of a retest on the hour time frame here as well. We broke through, then we came and retested successfully, and then we're off. And in fact, the 9 EMA on the hour has been guiding price a little bit there. That would have been a nice little entry every time it came back to the 9 and has bounced off there. So that's something to make sure you also have. And if you want to learn how to set up charts, you want to learn how to short the market, if you want to live trade with me, you can join the Tribal Trades Discord, an exclusive closed Discord community. However, if you would like access to that, you can email me via the email address below in the description of this video. You might need to click the more button. That will pop out, and the description there, you can see that there, and you can email me there to get access where you can interact with me on the live session. You can chat with me. We all trade together on the live sessions, and of course we do that every single week. I'm also in the Stocks with Josh Discord. Those links are below. That's an open Discord. And of course, I have my own Crown Traders channel there where I share education, insights, resources, some of my trade stuffs, of course, and entertainment, because I'm not a financial advisor. And this is not financial advice. This is for education and entertainment purposes only. Do not entertain. And I do teach some leverage trading there in the Stocks with Josh Discord as well. And so you can get educated on how to make money when the market goes down and when the market goes up. Let's look at the liquidation heat maps. We're going to follow the yellow brick road. Follow the yellow brick road. We're off to see the wizard, the wonderful Wizard of Oz. And my, look what we have here on the 48-hour time frame. There is a lot of liquidity to the downside there. If I'm the market maker, I'm coming down to 83 to grab all of that, and that's going to push us right back underneath those moving averages there, the 200-day and the 200 EMA. So this could possibly be a little bit of a fake out. And again, if you look on the weekly, the liquidation levels are to the downside, 83 and 80 there. And it's quite possible we're trading in that lower range there between 90. And look, it's quite possible we get up to this 88 area. Again, if I'm the market maker, I'm just going to come up and grab this liquidity at 88 before bringing it back down. Of course, I'm not the market maker, people. I'm not the market maker. But you look, though, at the longer time frame, the monthly time frame, and this is, I believe, where we're eventually heading, up above that 90,000, 95, up to this 100,000 region, a ton of liquidity to the upside. I don't believe that's going to be left behind. I believe the market makers are going to at least bring the market back to that 100,000. And of course, if you still believe that we are in a bull run, as I do, then of course you've got those higher liquidity there all the way up to 109,000. We've got billions and billions of dollars, and especially very concentrated around that 100. But if you get up to 107, 108, 110, a lot there. But this is where the danger is, that we could still come down to that area, and that's what still brings a lot of fear and fearfulness into the market in that way. And so that's how that kind of is preventing people from going in heavier, I believe, because just in case it comes down. But what if it doesn't? What if it doesn't? And what if the bottom is in? Do you think in this move, the bottom is in? We have made a higher high on the daily time frame. We've come down, we've made a higher high. This is the first time since the dump, really, we have made a higher high on Bitcoin. Actually, for some time, we've broken the trend. So the trend, at least for now, is broken. We've made a higher high. A good place to then get in on Bitcoin is a retest where we make a lower low. So as long as we don't lose this low here, and that low is sitting at about 80,000 there, 83,000, that low is sitting at. And so as long as we don't lose this candle low there, we want to, that's the low there, there's the higher high. And then the perfect place to get in would be a beautiful retest of the 200 EMA on the daily or the 200-day moving average. Otherwise, this is just a fake out. Otherwise, it's just a fake out. And if we create a lower low, then we don't have that trend reversal there. So it's bullish for the moment. There's some bullish things going on there for Bitcoin. There's some positive things going on for Bitcoin, but we do want to see this continue here and see this continue to the upside there. And so this would be a good entry here on a hold of the 200 EMA on the daily or the 200-day moving average. They're sitting at 85,000 and about 85,500 at the moment. So just that little zone right there could be a great entry. And interesting enough, the 20 EMA on the daily is also locked in at that same 85,500, 85,600 price point there. And so you can see how it broke through, and then we had our retest, and then we're off to the races. I would expect
some resistance at 89,000 and up at 90,000 if we actually get there. What's resistance right now? It's the 200 EMA on the 4 hour. We've broken through it at the moment, but it'll be interesting to see if we see any pullback based off there on the 4 hour time frame there. So that'll be interesting. All right, well, that's all we have time for today. And as always, until the next episode or until I see you on the Discord, happy trading.